So now for the next match, we have Sky taking on NaoShiki. Because unfortunately, Blood Edge just didn't have the ability to do much early on. Now is quite honestly getting a lot of triggers. Let's not have this be a Gatling Claw, just once. Sky guarded early, which is good because he runs Legion. Contemplating calling a rear guard, and he does. Making sure his opponent can't do what Sky himself just did. Which was a smart plan, to be honest. Checking top 5 for a grade 3 and didn't get anything. Shotro didn't either when he used that skill, so out of the 2 times that skill's been used, it hasn't gotten anything. It's kinda bad. So now we have Fennel, and once it hit the Vanguard circle, he counterblasted 1 and Soul Charge 3. As an addendum to what I said in Sky's last game, he did understand that he had the ability to counterblast 1 and Soul Charge 3. He just never wanted to do that. I'm not sure why he didn't want to do that. His drive checks were pretty good for the time, so I can't really say anything against the decision. First try to Mustafa again, and we're gonna see Melissa get retired. What's the soul look like, by the way? Well, there's a Melissa in the soul from riding, and Soul Charging 3 got the heal trigger in there, as well as as well as a grade 3 and a perfect guard. Not exactly ideal. So if the Vanguard hits, which it will, now gets an unflip. A heal trigger happens, so yeah, I was about to say he can 5k guard both. Just a matter of if he wants to. He decided to do it. So now, okay. Now didn't understand why Sky was doing that, but that's what that Witch of Melon's skill is. I'm guessing now just isn't familiar with it. Can't really be blamed though, not many people use witches very often. When it comes to a clan or a deck style that you rarely see used in the game, it's really easy to forget what they do. And it's especially prevalent with the fact that Witch of Melons is a new unit for them. They just got that support. Unfortunately, that critical trigger was wasted. To be honest, if Sky was gonna do that, he probably would have been better off attacking Vanguard first. He had the ability to get 2 perfect guards, chose to only get 1. which is good because if you have too many perfect guards in your hand at once cluttering your hand, then it becomes a problem. Went for Burning Horn, but it was guarded. And now the next Legion is going to be on Now's side going into the end. Gets to the end to hand, but not enough counterblast to do that skill anyway. It's just for later. So I would actually intercept that and then just take the Vanguard because the restand can't happen. So with this 24k, it's his choice if he wants to take it or not. I thought he was going to decide or not, but wait. Nope, he's deciding or not. Looks like he's going to re-Legion next turn. And now that his next turn, we see that that is correct. He is going to re-Legion. Critical Trigger back into the deck to draw. Check the top 3. Can add the Witch of White Hair, and then 2 go to the drop. That critical is probably going back to the deck now. I would have returned a heal, just because of the state of the game right now. Kind of want as many heals in the deck as possible if you're going to try to drag this out. Which witches kind of do that regardless. They kind of just try to drag the game out. Yeah, I was going to say that's the better option. Attacking Vanguard first this time. Now doesn't guard. Critical trigger. And a heal. Heal happened anyway, so okay. Apparently the fact that I'm doing something doesn't mean anything. So, I missed a lot of the team battle. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but there's another heal trigger. Let me just take a moment to look at game state a little bit. Did Muhammad retire something? I'm not even sure. Critical trigger unfortunately doesn't do anything for this turn. That's a lot of face-up strides. So now Religion has to decide what to put back. Putting back the end, the X, and a heal. There's still the end in there, by the way. And there's still the end in Soul. That's why all of the ends are going in there like that. Well, one had to go in there for Legion, and one had to go in to put into the hand. Perfect guarded, so we don't get a restand. Also, so the critical trigger doesn't do anything. To be honest, at this point, the restand would probably help Sky just in the sake that NaoShiki would deck out eventually. It's getting to the point where that's actually something to think about. I think it's hard to tell what the deck count is for now here, right here. But with all the strides that's been happening, I'm gonna assume it's not a 20. It would be very, very, very hard to believe that that is 20k. I mean 20 cards in deck. With all those face-up strides. No guard. Critical. One more check. One more drive check. He does realize he has a third drive check, right? $17k is blocked with a 10k. That's 17 in deck. Okay, so despite all the strides that have been used so far, that's still a large amount of deck. I'm really curious as to why that's the case. That might have something to do with it. How many units get returned by various abilities. So 31k at the Vanguard, and and it's gonna restand and have another 31k at the Vanguard. Let me check something. Okay, I turned the mic back on. Heal trigger happened. Yeah, the power is 31. And Sky has another perfect guard ready. And there's a critical. So both attacks are hitting for more than 21 and both have 2 critical. Sky is able to guard them all, but he has almost no hand now. Decides to go for another stride. Oh, that's why. Sky is pretty much guaranteeing that he's going to have enough triggers to... He's going to triple check triggers to end the game. We have to see how it works. Okay, so Sky didn't counterblast 1 in order to get a... in order to put a unit in the rear guard circle. A lot of hand was dropped last turn, but I'm not exactly sure what became of it in the end, and Sky only has 4 cards left in deck overall. Now 3. Sorry, 2. So he should... I want to believe he can Legion. He can. He doesn't have enough soul to do an ability, though. Does he still have a mate in deck? I don't think he does. No, he doesn't. He just did that. He just did that to do it. If he's gonna do this, then he should change how he's doing it. He should have had just 2 18K columns. if he was really going to do things this way. Of course, it wouldn't have mattered in the end, but still, that would have been the better option. The match, there's nothing more Sky can do anyway. And stride into another the ace. This is almost all of the strides in NaoShiki's deck now. And unfortunately now had too much deck, even if 3 draw triggers appear for it to end things. So now it's my turn. We'll see what happens.